Well, my name is Seriake Dickson.
You are the coach of the Bayelsa Starlets.
Yes.
So you just came back from a competition in Cape Verde not quite long. What would you say and how would you say your boys performed in the competition?
Well, I would say they performed well, considering the fact that it was a team that was that had time to barely 2 weeks to prepare for competition, and they went there and they came third. So I said they did well. And besides, it's the first time they have been exposed to such a competition.
So prior to this competition, did you have these boys as a team or they came out of the second edition of the Restoration Cup?
Well, these were players selected from the second edition of the Restoration Cup. So Restoration Starlets is not it's a team that combines players from different communities, from different local governments, to form the restoration team that went to Cape Verde.
So what would you say to the organizers of the Restoration Cup? What would you say to them?
Well, first and foremost, let me thank the governor and say a very big thank you, His Excellency, for making this possible for us to travel to Cape Verde. And I also want to appreciate the organizers, the committee, Restoration Committee, the Director General, Director of Publicity, and the Director of Finance. I want to thank them for the way they sort of took care of our welfare, that gave us that motivation to perform well in the competition.
So now this is another season of the Restoration Cup. What would you tell young players from Bayelsa?
Well, all I need to say is that the platform is all for all to participate. If you do well, you'll be selected. And I'm a coach without sentiments. So if you are the best players, you'll be selected for the next year competition coming up in Cape Verde as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
My name is Daniel Alabra. I am special advisor to the Governor on Public Affairs. I'm also tournament director of the Restoration Cup. That is the Governor Henry Seriake Dickson football tournament.
So today we are having the kickoff of the third edition of this tournament right here in Bayelsa State. So how would you say the first and the second edition before the third edition? Can you just say something about those?
The story of the Restoration Cup from the first edition up to now that we have the third edition is one of progress. The first edition was, being the first time, the participation was encouraging. Last year's edition was better, that's in 2018. But in this particular edition that we are having the draws today, as I speak now, no fewer than 160 teams have registered. I'm talking about communities and religious organizations in the state and even higher institutions that are interested in taking part in the Restoration Cup. I mean, we even had to shift the closing date for registration because of the interest that this competition has generated in the state. And we're also looking at something else that we have noticed. The fact that we have about 160 teams already that have registered. We're not talking about teams that have indicated interest. We're talking about teams that have bought forms to participate in this competition. It showed that this competition is perhaps becoming the biggest grassroots football tournament we have in Nigeria today. And that for us is very encouraging. It means that the people are taking ownership of this competition. It means that the communities are beginning to identify with this competition. It means that our youths are looking for outlets to exhibit the talents that they have. And there is no better way for them to exhibit this than taking part in grassroots competition like this. Now, I also need to say that last year, one of the reasons why we've had this kind of interest is because of something we did last year. After the Restoration Cup last year, or during the Restoration Cup last year, we picked players, young boys from this state, and we promised to expose them beyond the shores of Bayelsa. And at the end of the day, about 100 players were picked. And out of these 100, we selected 18 of them to represent this state at as restoration starlets at the Africa Youth Cup that was held in Cape Verde in April. And we are glad to always say it, that the boys made us proud, and they came third in that competition. I mean, for us as a country and as a state, we're happy that for a team that was even assembled at very short notice before we went for that competition, it was heartwarming. Now, following their exploits at the Africa Youth Cup, these boys came back, and we've tried to keep them together. As we speak, they are participating in the Bayelsa State Football League. Right now, these young boys with great potential, they are in the finals of the Bayelsa State Football League. If they win that competition, they are going to represent the state in the amateur league, going forward. So this is something that we started, and we didn't know it's even going to get this far. But look at where we are today. We've been able to discover talents for the states. We've been able to expose them beyond this state, and now they have potential of going beyond, even Nigeria. Because eventually, some of these players will get to play in the national teams. Some of them will get to play in clubs, abroad, in Europe, in Asia, in other parts of Africa. This is our expectation. This is our vision for these young boys, and we want to see more of them, discovered, even in this year's competition. We are very hopeful that, we are going to get another set of restoration starlets that will be picked, because we have scouts, that will go all around the 16 centers that we are going to have, in this year's edition.
Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now take the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Governor of Bayelsa State and the Games Master General of Bayelsa State, His Excellency, retired Rear Admiral Borbioa John Jonah, Your Excellency, for 3 years, you've made footballers in Bayelsa State to come out. We've never had a tournament with as many clubs participating. But the Restoration Cup tournament has done well to bring out footballers from all nooks and crannies of our state. Last year, some of the products of the second edition went to Cape Verde Island, participated in an international tournament, and made Bayelsa State and Nigeria proud. They are also here today to formally present the laurels they won in that tournament to you. Your Excellency, at this point, I'd like to go straight on to invite to formally welcome us the man you've given the responsibility to manage the sporting affairs of the Restoration government. I'm talking about a gentleman who is working very hard, a man known by every athlete, every official in the sporting family in Bayelsa State. Let's please put hands together for the Honorable Commissioner for Sports Development, Honorable Prikiye Brubuyefe to step forward and welcome us.
The Right Honorable Henry Seriake Dickson. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Rear Admiral Borbia John Jonah retired, the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Tonye Emmanuel Isena. Please, for purposes of time, permit me to stand on the protocol already established. On behalf of the government, on behalf of the DG Restoration team, and on behalf of the entire sports family, I wish to welcome you all to the third edition of the Restoration Cup draw ceremony. And permit me to say that here we are also going to present the kits and other things they need to the clubs that are being represented this year. Let me say that for this year we have about 160 communities and teams that have registered for this club, for this competition. And we know this is the third edition, and this is the third edition because we have been succeeding in the previous editions, because I know if we had failed, there would have been no need to continue. But we are proud that we have made successes so far, and already we have started yielding fruits from this competition. Some of the players last year are already playing in clubs, making their livings from this competition. And we know more will continue to earn their own living from this competition. But the highlights of all is the fact that the governor enabled the restoration starlets to represent not just the state, but the entire country in the first African youth competition that took place in Cape Verde. We went, we saw, and by the grace of God, I can say we conquered. Out of the teams that participated in that competition, including a team from Portugal, the restoration starlets came up top, because we prepared, and by the grace of God, we did well in that competition. May I at this point, with every humility, again thank our governor for all the support he has been giving to this competition, and not just this, to sports in general in this state. As we are aware already, over 22 states and club sides are already participating at the sports complex in wrestling. That also is because of the governor's magnanimity. Because of time, I don't want to waste time recounting things, but with every pleasure and humility, may I say that we have the restoration starlet that went to Cape Verde last year here with us. Please stand up for recognition. That is the team we call the Restoration Starlets. And to add, they have already qualified again for the finals of the State League this year. So they will be playing next week Saturday against another team. And by God's grace, we think we will also win the cup here. At this juncture, please, may I again say welcome to this very important occasion. The technical details will be given to you by the technical people as we go ahead. Welcome.
Henry Seriake Dickson, your able deputy, very reliable deputy governor, Rear Admiral Borbia John Jonah, the Speaker of the Bayelsa State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Tonye Esena. Please permit me to stand on the protocol that has already been established. This morning, I have the singular honor of presenting to His Excellency some of our youths from this state that have made us proud. But before I do that, Your Excellency, I would just want to reiterate, let me restate, that you are a governor who has not only believed in sports, but you have supported sports by your actions. I think you deserve a better round of applause. The restoration starlets that you see here today, they are the product of your support by way of action. But for your support, we will not have been able to make that trip to Cape Verde. At the last minute, you made funds available, and we traveled to Cape Verde. Today, we have testimony to show that we went out of this state to represent not only Bayelsa, but Nigeria, and we came back not empty-handed, we came back with a trophy to show that we participated in that competition. Kudos once again to you, Your Excellency. Let me also use this opportunity to say that the Restoration Starlets are a product of the Restoration Cup. But for the Restoration Cup, which is the acronym for the Governor Henry Seriake Dickson football tournament, we will not have these young talents today that are making us proud. Last year, about 100 of them were picked during that second edition. At the end of the day, 18 of them were selected by the technical team that we have. And today, they are here to be presented to you, Your Excellency. So I want to call them one after the other. Let them come forward. From the captain, Tarabina Beweribo, please lead your boys to the front and stand before His Excellency. Please, a round of applause for these young men. This song they are going to sing this morning is, maybe I should just say that is what motivates them before they play every game. It's a song that inspires them. Of course, they give glory to God, draw inspiration from God before every game. And of course, they couldn't have been able to do the exploits that they made without God. So, Your Excellency, they are going to present the trophy they won in Cape Verde to you, but they are going to do it in this order. They will present the trophy to the Honorable Commissioner for Sports, who will then hand over the trophy to you. The trophy, please. There's also a medal for His Excellency and the Deputy Governor too.
His Excellency has been presented with a medal and of course the tournament face cap. And finally, the Commissioner is now presenting the trophy they won in Cape Verde to His Excellency, the Chief Motivator. And he lifts it. Please put your hands together for His Excellency. The captain, can you move closer to His Excellency and have a handshake? The captain of the team. The players can also, one after the other, have a handshake with the governor before the group photograph. One after the other, just the way you are standing. The first player, go one after the other to have a handshake with the governor. A handshake. The players, after the handshake, the group photograph will follow. Rivers United team that went to Helsinki to make Old River State proud, Dan Alabra. One of the tournament directors and officials that led the team. And of course, Ono, Kevin Akpe, Amadou Boa, of course, one of the officials. And Nanakumo, the one I call Nanasco. Congratulations.
Seriake Dickson tournament, and I dare say that the restoration government is moving on. Why do I say that? In the first edition of this competition, we had 120 teams registered. Last year, 2018, we had 138 teams. And then this year, 2019, we had a whopping 159 teams registered for this competition. Of course, the MC had given a breakdown of the teams, and teams from all the local government registered. Now, we had 17 centers where we are going to play these matches. And how did we get to these 17 centers? We took into cognizance the pool of communities. We know the terrain. You will not expect a team from the Kulama Zama axis to come to Territory to play. So we are pooled, for convenience, we are pooled teams in various localities, considering them to be equidistant, and also considering, most importantly, the state of the pitches, because we have to select good pitches where we can get, where we can play good football. So we have come out with 17 centers for this competition. Now, the draws is going to be on knockout basis. And in the course of doing the draws, some of the centers, the numbers are uneven, so we have introduced buys. We are going to start with the Tom Brass Center. Tom Brass Center has 8 teams, 6 teams, but we've created a buy to make it 8. So without much ado, I would like to call on His Excellency to come forward before the opening. I know we have. Number 8. Tom Brass, number 8. Pastor, reflect number 8 there, please. Pastor, reflect number 8. Tom Brass, number 8. Number 8, that's Liama, number 8. Number 8, Liama. The next one, Your Excellency. Import, sir.
Your things are very strong.
Well, okay. Port 3. That is Port 3 is Tom FC. Tom Brass FC. Thank you, sir. Your Excellency. Number 7. Number 7 is UAC Akasa FC. Number 6. Number 6. Number 6 is Odiama FC. Odiama FC, number 6. They are all from within the same locality. Number 4. Number 4 is Cape Formosa FC. Number 4, Cape, that is a number 4, that's a buy. Please, could you pick again, please? Iguama community. Okay, number 2. Number 2 is Okpoma FC of Okpoma. Okpoma community.
After the presentation, His Excellency will make his remarks.
No, it's not.
Before returning to his seat.
Okay, okay, the team. Okay, thank you. Defending champions.
The captain, former Bayelsa United player.
Family in our state, the young people of our state, and our victorious team that won the bronze medal at Cape Verde. I greet you all, and a round of applause especially for you all. Your coach and all other officials, and then members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I want to welcome you to this year's edition of our football talent development program, which is in its 3rd year. I want to thank and appreciate those who have midwifed and organized this. The Director General, all of you who have been coordinating it, the sports experts, football enthusiasts and officials, the commissioner and the members of his team and the ministry, and indeed all of you, the young people of our state and youths of all our communities, who every year key into this football and talent development program that has been running for 3 years. And like I mentioned the last time, for me, the Restoration Football Cup, which is a brainchild of friends of my government, my own friends and supporters and well-wishers, this program will continue even after I shall have left office. The Restoration Cup is not ending on February 14th next year. In fact, that will be even a greater beginning because I will have more time. I will have more time to call for friends from far and near to come and support. This program has to go on for the sake of the youth of our state. So I want to congratulate all of you who are participants. I want to congratulate the organizers once again, and I thank the great leadership that the Commissioner for Sports has been given. I want to again congratulate and thank and appreciate the achievements and all of you, the victorious team, continue to record for our state. I keenly followed your competition in Cape Verde. And judging by your performance, I think you ought to have won gold. Because you did very well. But for us, this is the beginning of greater things for all of you in Jesus' name. We have a package of support. But I don't want to mention any figures now. Your leaders will be informed. And all of you who were part of that trip, victorious trip, you will have a present and a handshake from the government of Bayelsa State. I want to thank you all for coming. I call for a peaceful tournament. I call on all our community leaders, youth leaders in all our communities, to conduct themselves peacefully as they have always done since the commencement of this competition. Last year was very impressive, and I was there at the finals. And we have no doubt that judging by the turnout this year, which is even more, this year's tournament will also be very peaceful and successful, and by the grace of God, I hope to be there at the finals also. And I look forward to seeing all of you who participate, and no one is a loser in this competition. The idea is to be a participant. The idea is to take part and be the best you can be. And even if you don't win a trophy or a prize, you have at least won something by participating. So participate happily. Put in your very best. And you will see the rewards in due course. I shall say a little bit more as the tournament progresses, especially during the finals. But for today, I want to thank all of you for coming. I want to use this opportunity to especially thank our friends and partners who have continued to support and encourage this wonderful tournament. You are going to have more partners, number of friends who have seen this, who have heard this, have personally called me to say, they will want to know how they can support. So this tournament is now growing from strength to strength. And I call for more youth groups, community-based groups, to key in and mobilize the creative and abundant energies of our young people, to channel it towards sporting development and especially football development. Once again, I thank you all for coming. I thank the organizers, and I thank our partners and friends. Feel free to donate and support this worthy cause. The government will continue to support and encourage you, and I look forward to meeting you, seeing you all at the finals. I wish you the very best as the tournament gets ready to kick off. Thank you for coming, and God bless you all. Thank you, God bless you.
Thank you very much. That has been His Excellency. Your Excellency, you are not just the motivator, you are not just the inspiration, you are also a participant, and for that you have a special jersey waiting for you. His Excellency, the Deputy Governor will formally present a jersey of this tournament to you. Number 001. That's the number 1 participant in this tournament. Let's please put hands together for His Excellency, the Governor of Bayelsa State. Immediately His Excellency takes his exit, of course, the draws will continue and the presentation of kits to the different participating teams will also continue. And I'm told refreshment will also be served. Wherever you are, and allow the Excellencies and other special dignitaries to take their exit. Like I told you, the draws will continue and the presentation of kits to the different participating teams will also continue.
My name is Daniel Iwariso Maxine, Honorable Commissioner for Information.
Sir, you just witnessed the draw of the 3rd edition of the Henry Seriake Dickson Restoration Cup. Sir, how do you feel today being part of this great event?
Well, it's good to see that this competition is growing. I remember when we first started, very little chance was given. But today it's now a competition that is well received all over the state. It's amazing to see that over 130 communities are participating in this competition. And for those of us who have been part of this development from the very beginning, what better way to reach the grassroots? What better way to hunt for talents? And as you have seen, some of the talents from the previous competition have gone to represent us well. Not just represent Bayelsa State, but have gone ahead to represent Nigeria at the Cape Verde event. And so we are hoping that from what is happening here today, that Bayelsa will be making a significant contribution to the national team. Bayelsa very soon will be one state to be reckoned with when it comes to soccer and football because of our contribution to the national team. And I believe very strongly that this is the best way to catch them young and give them the kind of exposure that they need. So what the government is doing, particularly His Excellency the Governor, is commendable. We hope that this competition will be sustained. We are glad and gratified to hear from the Governor that this competition will continue even after his tenure in office. And therefore, it's exciting to know that more opportunities will be created for our young people to discover themselves and to discover their talents and put their talents to good use for the betterment of our society. But more profoundly, this is one sure way of ensuring that our youths are productively engaged, away from drug abuse, away from all kinds of crimes and societal ills. By this competition, a number of our youths who otherwise will have taken to other kinds of crimes will be productively engaged, and our society will be better. We are hoping and praying that it will be peaceful, that the competition will go on in all our communities, and it will be peaceful all across, and the spirit of sportsmanship will prevail at the end of the day. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited, and I believe that this year will be bigger than the previous year. There will be many more sponsors this year, and hopefully this competition will produce another J.J. Omokashi, another Samson Siasia, and the great footballers that we've known in times past. That's our hope and that's our prayer, and it will come to pass in Jesus' name.
Sir, as a sports lover and in particular a football player, what is your advice to the youth on how to take this competition?
Well,
seeing that their colleagues have just come back from an international competition, what is your advice to the Bayelsa youth?
You know, one of the things that the youth must know, football is big business. All over the world now. If some of us had the opportunity, if we had this same opportunity back in the day, by now we'll be somewhere else. So they should take it with all seriousness. A number of them from this competition will move on to play in bigger clubs. A number of them from this competition will move on to play in the national team. So they should take it seriously and give it all the necessary commitment and determination that it truly deserves. This is the beginning of great things for them. So my advice to them is to give it all the necessary seriousness, commitment, and determination. Like every other thing we do in life, if you're not serious about it, you won't make any impact. But I believe that the youths of Bayelsa, through this competition and the potentials that this competition has, will give it all the best. They will give it their best shot. And at the end of the day, like I said, we hope to see more Samson Siasias. We hope to see more Finidi George. We hope to see more Tarila Okorowanta, so that this state can once again celebrate the best of football. And we can begin to beat our chest to say that Bayelsa is full of talent, as we know we have it already in abundance. And it's an opportunity to showcase those talents to the rest of the world.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.